How's it going, everybody? Doing a drink review, and I'm doing week 8 NFL recap. Today is November 1st. I gotta film 2 videos today because I'm working tomorrow, so I'm gonna be doing the request for a game collection with no gum chewing, so that'll be coming tomorrow. But the drink I got today is the Cherry Limeade Ghost. I had talked about this when I did that, was the something lemonade, pink lemonade one. I saw this one, or whatever, I don't know. But I found this one in 7-Eleven, so I grabbed it. See how it is. It's got a pretty intense smell. It actually smells exactly like what it is. It's not bad. A little stronger on the cherry than it is on the lime. Or the limeade. It's not bad, though. It's decent. It's a little stronger than the cherry. Stronger than cherry, which I can appreciate because I'm more of a fan of cherry than the lime. But I don't mind lime, but cherry I like more. It's pretty good though. It's not as good as that other one that I had the pink lemonade one. Or was it, I grabbed the sour Patch Kids one, and not this one from the IGA. The pink lemonade one was like a couple of weeks ago. It's not bad. Once again, it tastes like what it is. A little strong on the cherry compared to the lime, but it's more whatever you like more, I think. That will affect your feelings on it. I'm trying to think of a score on this one before I hop into the recap. It's actually a little refreshing too, which is nice. I think certain flavors just have more, maybe it's in my brain, just has more of a refreshing taste than others. I'm gonna go with 7 on this one. It's pretty good, actually. I mean, I keep going from not bad to pretty good, but it's a solid 7. It tastes like what it says it is. And it actually is a little refreshing. Not a lot of these energy drinks are. But this one kind of is. But yeah, I think I'm going to go with 7 on the Cherry Limeade Ghost Energy. Cat is trying to force her way in. Let me let her in real quick. She wants to know what's going on. Anyway, let's get into the recap of Week 8. Okay. I guess the Thursday game was Bills beat the Bucks 24-18. Bills go to 5-3. Bucks are 3-4. Sorry. Mayfield had a pretty decent game, 2 TDs, sacked 3 times. Now she wants to go back out. Hold on a second. It's kind of unedited action you get on my videos. Let's see. Receiving touchdowns for Godwin and Evans. They didn't really run the ball that much. 17 times, 78 yards as a team. Josh Allen has 2 TDs and a pick. 224 yards. Josh Allen also has a rushing touchdown. Gabe Davis, 87 yards and a touchdown. Stephon Diggs has 9 for 70. Kincaid has the other TD receiving for them. They had 3 sacks. So Bills are in a tight division race now. What's she doing out there? On to Sunday. Dallas beats up on the Rams 43-20. I'm sorry. I got a little side. Hold on. Cat, you're staying here now. Alright, she's throwing me off now. I'm starting to get annoyed. Anyway, 43-20 Cowboys. Stafford has a touchdown to pick. Brett Rippon comes in. I don't know if Stafford had gotten hurt or not. Royce Freeman has a rushing touchdown. No, that's right. Cooper Kupp is back. He didn't do much. I blow my nose there. This is going well. Prescott has 4 TDs and a pick, so he has a hell of a game there. 304 yards. Tony Pollard, 12 rushes, 53 yards. CeeDee Lamb had 12 for $158 and 2 touchdowns receiving. Brandon Cooks had a TD. I did not know he was on the Cowboys, actually. Jake Ferguson. They had 2 sacks as a team. They go to 5-2. Rams are 3-5. Vikings beat the Packers 24-10. So all of a sudden the Vikings are playing a lot better now. So they're going to give some competition now to the Lions. It looked like the Lions might run away with that division, but they're 4-4 now. The Vikings. Packers dropped to 2-5, so they're coming back down to earth. Jordan Love looked really good at first. Cousins has 2 TDs. Nice little game for him. They barely run the ball. 31 rushes for 62 yards as a team. Addison and Hawkinson have receiving TDs. They had 4 sacks on Jordan Love. Love a touchdown and a pick, 229 yards. Runs the ball for 34 yards. He's their leading rusher. Romeo Dobbs has the receiving TD. Preston Smith had 2 sacks for them. I said they go to 2-5. Vikings are 4-4. But they're playing a lot better. They're playing the way they should be, actually, now. Titans beat the Falcons 28-23. There have been some bye weeks now. Teams have been on bye, I think, last week, week 8, and I think week 7. Falcons are 4-4. So Titans would have had a bye. They're 3-4. DeAndre Hopkins has a TD. Actually, has 2 TDs. He has 3 TDs. I'm actually looking at like the score recap. It's like the box score itself. She's back in here again. Wow, Taylor Haneke did most of the foul. I don't know if Ritter got hurt. He had a touchdown. Robinson rushing at 62 yards for the Falcons. Scott Miller has the TD. Will Levis, 4 TDs, 238 yards for the Titans. Derrick Henry goes over 101 yards. And Hopkins has 428 yards, 3 TDs. Kind of a throwback game for him. They had 6 sacks. Simmons and Landry, the third, each had 2 sacks apiece. So Falcons are a young team now, right? So they're still doing all right. Titans are another one of those teams that somehow makes their way to I guess it'll be 9-8 now. They'll be like 9-8 or 8-9 to end the season. Saints beat the Colts 38-27. Derek Carr. Saints are 4-4. The Colts are 3-5. Derek Carr has 2 TDs, 310 yards. Taysom Hill has 63 yards rushing and 2 touchdowns. Isn't he one of their other quarterbacks? Rashid. I'm not going to be able to say his name. Shaheed. His last name. 153 receiving yards and a touchdown. Carr lost a fumble. Gardner Minshew has 2 TDs and a pick. Jonathan Taylor seems to be getting into a groove. He had 95 yards. Zach Moss had 66. They ran the ball well. Josh Downs, 7 for 72 receiving. Pittman Jr. has a touchdown. The Colts seem like they're kind of decent, but maybe they can't get it together. I don't know. Dolphins beat the Patriots 31-17. They moved to 6-2. New England's 2-6. Check out the old box score. Mac Jones 2 TDs and a pick, 161 yards. They don't run the ball terribly, but Stevenson has 10 for 39. Kendrick Bourne has the receiving touchdown. Tua has 3 TDs and a pick. Continues having a good year. Raheem Mostert has 46 yards. Rushing and a TD. Waddle has 121 yards and a touchdown receiving. Tyreek Hill has another 112 yards and a receiving TD. I think he's over 1,000 yards in 8 games. It'd be cool to see him break that record before he gets to the 17th game. Calvin Johnson's was like 1,900 something yards. The pace he's on, he should be able to do it. I mean, as long as he plays the 17 games, he'll do it in 17, but you'd almost, if you're him too, you want to do it in 16. Tua loses a fumble. I hit the wrong button. I went to a player stats. They have a big matchup with the Chiefs this week, the Dolphins, so that could be for, that should be that game, yeah. Well, no, because the Ravens are doing well, too. I feel like I'm struggling here. Jets beat the Giants in 13-10. Battle of the two New Jersey teams. This was a defensive struggle, I suppose. Zach Wilson has a touchdown. 17-36. Did have 240 yards. He ran for 25 yards. He was the leading rusher as well. Garrett Wilson has 100 yards. Brees Hall has the receiving touchdown. Jets are 4-3 quietly. Wilson did lose 2 fumbles as well. Tyrod Taylor, this is insane. I saw this actually. When we were down in Jamaica, I was looking at the scores. As a team, the Giants were 6 of 14 passing for -9 yards because they were sacked 4 times. Tyrod Taylor had 8 yards, though, and Tommy DeVito had a minus yard. Barkley goes for 128 yards rushing. I mean, Barkley has 3 catches for no yards. The leading receivers were Waller and Breida. A catch each for 4 yards. Thibodeau did have 3 sacks for the Giants on days, so that's about how a game between the Giants and Jets this year should have went without Rodgers playing. The Jets look like they're going to be in the same position they were last year. They're going to eventually need Zach Wilson to do something in a game that could get him into the playoffs, and you're going to see if he can do it this time, because he couldn't last year. Giants are 2-6. Jaguars beat the Steelers. $20-10. Jags are 6-2 actually, and that's a quiet 6-2 in my opinion. Steelers are 4-3 now. But all of a sudden the Jags 6-2. I think there's maybe 4 6-2 teams now, right? In the AFC, Lawrence has a touchdown to pick. Etienne Jr. has 79 yards rushing, 88 yards for Ingram receiving, 83 yards for Ridley. Etienne Jr. has 70 yards and a touchdown. Trubisky has a touchdown, 2 picks. Kenny Pickett also played. He had 73 yards rushing and passing. They don't run the ball well either. 18 for 70 as a team. Johnson has 85 yards receiving. Pickens has the TD. His only catch. Eagles beat Washington 38-31. The Eagles, I believe, are 6-2. No, the Eagles are 7-1. Washington's 3-5. They were winning that game too, weren't they? No, they only won in 24-17. Jalen Hurts 14. He's no picks, 319 yards. They only run the ball 22 times, 59 yards. Swift has 57 and a touchdown. A.J. Brown, 2 touchdowns, 130 yards. Hurts loses a fumble. The pick was by Blankenship. Eagles are pulling away now because 49ers are starting to struggle. Sam Howell, 4 touchdowns and a pick, so he has a nice game as well. Dotson, 108 yards and a touchdown. Crowder, 95 and a touchdown. So he throws touchdowns to 4 different receivers. Panthers beat the Texans in a tight 15-13 game. Everybody's like, the Panthers are messing up their number 1 pick. But I don't think they have it, right? The Bears have their pick. I don't know. Maybe they don't. I forget how it goes. That was actually Carolina's first win. They're 1-6 now. Houston's 3-4. Stroud has 140 yards, no TDs, no picks. 110 yards rushing as a team. Bryce Young has a touchdown for the Panthers and 236-35 yards. Thielen has 72 yards receiving. Hubbard has 28 yards rushing. Not much going on in this game. The Seahawks beat the Browns 24-20. Seahawks quietly having a pretty good year as well. They're 5-2. The Seahawks. Browns are 4-3. This video's taking way too long. I don't know why. Which might not be a bad thing, but PJ Walker. I didn't realize Watson's hurt again. Walker has a touchdown and 2 picks. Hold on a sec. Hunt has 55 yards and touchdown rushing. Amari Cooper has 89 yards receiving. PJ Walker also fumbled once. Kenneth Walker has 66 yards. Geno Smith, 2 touchdowns and 2 picks. Tyler Lockett has 81 yards and a touchdown. Seahawks are in first place then, I think. Oh, here we go. The Broncos beat the Chiefs 24-9. That is the Broncos' first win since 2015 over the Chiefs. I think they lost to them 16 in a row. They win 24-9. The D plays really well. Mahomes had no touchdowns and 2 picks. They didn't run the ball well either. 16 for 62. Kelsey is the leading receiver. What else is new? 658. They did have a bunch of sacks. They had 6 sacks on Russell Wilson. Because Denver's line is awful. This doesn't affect the Chiefs in any way. They're still 6-2. Nobody else in that division is good. But Russell Wilson, 12 for 19, 140 yards and 3 TDs. Javonte Williams has 85 yards rushing. He also had a receiving touchdown. Judy had a receiving touchdown. Cortland Sutton has 6 TDs receiving this year. I was surprised by that. Russell Wilson also lost a fumble. They had 3 sacks. Browning had 2 of them. It's a nice win for Denver to actually beat the Chiefs for the first time in 10 years, 8 years, whatever else it's been. Now, with Denver, like I said, the Chiefs doesn't affect them, whatever. They're going to still win the division unless they really shit the bed. Unless losing to Denver all of a sudden destroys their brain. For Denver, though, can they actually... They have a bye this week and then they go to Buffalo. So all of a sudden you got to play Buffalo now next week. Let's see if Denver builds on it. Nice to see him actually beat him, though. Like I said, though, for the Chiefs, it doesn't affect them because even if they don't have the best record in the conference at the end of the year, they're still going to win the division. It doesn't matter. I'd be surprised if they didn't. Yeah, Baltimore is 6-2. They beat the Cardinals 31-24. The Cardinals dropped to 1-7. So you got Baltimore, the Jags. You got 4 teams at 6-2. Lamar Jackson a touchdown, no picks, 157 yards. Gus Edwards 80 yards, rushing 3 TDs. Nice little game for him. That's done. Joshua Dobbs, 2 TDs, 2 picks for the Cardinals. McBride has 95 yards, receiving a touchdown. DeMarcado has 78 yards rushing. Dobbs did have a rushing touchdown as well. What's his name still hurt? Kyler Murray, or is there something going on there with like contract issues? I don't know. Bengals beat the 40. What are the Bengals' record right now? They beat them 31-17 in San Fran. Oh, they're 4-3. And now San Francisco, I think they lost 3 in a row. But all of a sudden, the Bengals are 4-3. See, if they get into the playoffs, they're going to be a dangerous team. Mixon has 87 yards rushing. Burrow has 3 TDs, no picks, 283 yards. Jamar Chase, 10 for 100, and a touchdown receiving. They had 2 picks. Brock Purdy, he looked good, and all of a sudden he might be coming back down to earth here. He did have 365 yards passing, actually, but he had a touchdown, 2 picks. He ran the ball 57 yards, so maybe he's not coming back down to earth. McCaffrey has another rushing touchdown. This guy has TD every freaking week. Oh, he has the receiving TD as well. How many I gotta see how many TDs he has. Kittle led them. He has 9 rushing TDs. Oh, does he have 9 total TDs? No, he definitely has more than that. Where am I? I gotta look at his game stats here. So he has 9 rushing touchdowns. He has 13 TDs. 13 TDs in 8 games. So he's, how many did Tomlinson have that one year? Like 27 or some shit. I remember when, it's funny how like in the AFC West, San Diego kind of dominated the division for a bit. Denver dominated the division, or they won it like 5 years in a row, and now obviously the Chiefs have won it at least 7 years in a row. Who the hell knows? One team always seems to like control that division for a bit. I remember when the thing is though, Denver and the Chiefs won Super Bowls and went to Super Bowls when they were doing it. The Chargers never even got to a Super Bowl during their dominant time. But Tomlinson, that guy, I remember when I would see televised Bronco-Chargers games, once you were inside the 10, they were either going to just throw a little screen pass to him, or he was going to just make a move and run into the end zone like every time. He was unstoppable inside the 10. It was insane how good that guy was. He was good all over the place, but once you got in the red zone, that guy was like, oh my God. And Chargers beat the Bears 30-13 to finish up the Sunday games. Chargers 3-4. The Bears are 2-6. What's his name? Still hurt. Fields. So this guy Baggins. He comes back down to earth. He had a good game, I think, last week. He's 2 picks, no touchdowns, 32 yards. 34 yards for Foreman. There's like nothing going on for them. DJ Moore had 455 receiving. Herbert has 3 touchdowns, no picks. Good game for him. Eckler has a TD receiving. They don't rush the ball that well as a team. 25-54. Eckler lost a fumble. So that ends the Sunday games. Lions beat the Raiders 26-14. The Raiders just fired, I saw. Or it happened last night. McDaniels, their GM, the head coach, and the offensive coordinator all got shit canned. So the Detroit's still 6-2. They're having a nice little year for themselves. Garoppolo has a pick, no touchdowns, gets sacked 6 times. Josh Jacobs has 61 yards rushing and a TD. No good receivers. Jacobs leads them in receiving as well. Jared Goff, touchdown, a pick, 272. Gibbs rushing, 152 yards. St. Brown has 6 for $108 receiving, so he is back now. They did fumble the ball twice. Josh Reynolds and Greg Reynolds both fumbled. They had 6 sacks. McNeil had 2, and Anzalone had 2. So quietly, the Lions have a nice year, as they should. They've gotten better. They could probably still win that division, especially if they take out their divisional opponents in those games. They should win it easily. But the only really big surprise was Denver actually winning. But like I said, that doesn't affect the Chiefs, unless that somehow just sends them spiraling. They'll be fine. Because there's no one to challenge them in the division. Like I talked about in the last recap, there's no one. You know, you might see another team like the Chargers last year get into the playoffs, but the Chiefs just usually comfortably take the division, and that's it. I mean, Denver had it for a bit too when they had Peyton. They won it that one year before Peyton got there with Tebow, where they were 8-8. So it's not like they were dominating shit, and they got very lucky that year. But you're gonna have a race now because the Ravens are 6-2, the Jags are 6-2, Dolphins and the Chiefs play each other next week. So that's gonna cause some movement among those 4 teams. But it's good to see, you know. And you get to still get the Bills there at 5-3, and the Bengals if they can make a move. I'll tell you right now, 6 teams make the playoffs still, right? No way. Did they add 7 teams? 7 teams make the playoffs now in the NFL. I can't remember. I think it is 7 now. Because only 1 team gets a bye now. Which actually makes sense. I think it is 7. Whatever. Like I said, I don't know enough anymore with sports outside of hockey. So you could have a nice mix. If the 4 teams that I just said, the 6-2 teams get in, Bills are in there, and the Bengals are in there, that right there is 6. Just, you could have some really good matchups in the playoffs in the AFC. NFC, you got the Cowboys at 6-2, Eagles at 7-1. The Cowboys are, I think the 49ers will still be there, and you have the Seahawks could be making a move as well. And then you have the Lions. So you can have some good matchups there. You can have some fresh matchups, actually, possibly in the NFC. But yeah, that's just a NFL Week 8 recap and a 7.0 drink review of this cherry limeade ghost energy drink. Send it up over half an hour, but thank you for checking this out, and have a good day.